Potato bake is delicious, but let's be honest, it doesn't always look great on the plate. It's perfect like this for a family dinner or casual barbecue, but today we're making it dinner party worthy. With just a few simple tweaks to your recipe, it can look a whole lot more impressive when you serve it. Because we all love beautiful food, don't we? Later on in the video, we'll plate it up and I'll show you the difference these small tweaks make to your presentation. Let's start with the ingredients we need. Make sure you have waxy potatoes. Floury potatoes will turn your potato bake into mash. A leek has an onion flavour, but it's more subtle. Garlic, thyme, butter and oil for frying, salt and pepper, and cream. To make your dinner party worthy potato bake, you will need to peel the potatoes. I guess that's another thing you might not do if you are making an everyday style potato bake. These peels don't need to be wasted though. If you have an air fryer, you can easily crisp them up and make potato skins. They'd make a great garnish to add a crispy texture to a dish. Let's thinly slice the potatoes. A mandolin does this very quickly and keeps all the slices uniform. This is important from a food presentation perspective. You'll notice these are fairly thin, whereas in a dish of potato bake, you can cut these a lot thicker. For somebody who enjoys putting beautiful food on the table, a mandolin can be a very useful tool. I use mine for so many different things, like cutting cucumbers for sandwiches, or onion rings for example. I have this exact one in my shop. There's a link in the description. With the potatoes sliced, let's prepare the leek, my favourite onion substitute for this dish. It has a more subtle flavour than onion, so it's usually my go-to if I have a choice. Onion still works though. Go for your preference or whatever you have on hand. Leeks are notoriously bad for having dirt hiding between the layers, and they're so difficult to try and wash. I find the best way is to cut it, put it in a wire sieve, and give it a good rinse under cold running water. Then we can slowly sweat the leek in a bit of oil and butter. Add the garlic, either crushed or use a microplane like I am to finely grate the garlic straight in. This adds a lovely flavour to your potato bake, but again it isn't essential. Fresh thyme leaves are a great addition too. If you don't have any, rosemary will work, or dare I say it, even some mixed dried herbs. Once it's all nice and soft, add the cream so it can start reducing. Don't forget to season it with salt and pepper, and then let it slowly bubble away. Be generous here. You almost want to over-season it, as the potato isn't getting any additional salt. This is our flavouring and mixture that will bind the potato slices and keep them together on the plate looking professional. While that's reducing, let's prepare our baking tin. This step is a bit unique. I line it with a layer of tin foil and then a layer of baking paper. The tin foil will help with even heat distribution and will also stop the potato browning. The baking paper will stop the potatoes sticking. We don't want the potato to brown at this point in the cooking process. That will happen later. Let's see how our cream is getting on. You'll know it's ready and reduced enough when you can drag a spatula through and it doesn't reconnect straight away. Now we need to add the delicious creamy garlic and leek to the sliced potatoes and give it a good mix around. A spoon or spatula just dances around without really separating all the layers of potato, so I find it's easiest to do this with my hand. We really do need the cream to get in between all the layers of potato because it's our flavour and moisture. You will notice there isn't too much creamy liquid compared to the quantity of potato. This is intentional. We don't want it to be too wet. Fill the tin with the potato, taking care to keep the pieces flat. Push them right into the corners and edges, otherwise you'll end up with visible holes when it's cooked. Doing this with your hand over a spoon gives you more control. It's also good to try and keep it as level as possible. You don't want a big mound in the centre. Add another layer of baking paper over the top and twist the edges over to seal it as best you can. This creates a little microclimate and helps to cook the potato evenly. Cover it with tin foil and pop it into a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius or 320 degrees Fahrenheit for about 45 minutes. You can check it's done by feeling how soft it is. I use a skewer, or you can use a small knife. If it feels soft, it's good to go. If you feel any resistance, that means the potatoes aren't cooked enough and you'll need to put it back in for a bit longer. Next, and this is very important, we need to compress the potato to give it that professional dinner party worthy look. To do this, take another baking tin that fits in snugly, put it on top and add some cans to weigh it down. You will need to let it cool a little before putting it in the fridge overnight. That's the time-consuming bit done. The next day, when it's completely cold, compressed and set, you can take it out of the fridge to cut. Here's another little tip. Flip it upside down onto a chopping board. This puts the nice flat-bottomed edge on the top, making it look more professional on the plate. I always trim off the edges because they won't be completely square and will have a few holes given you're putting something with round edges into a square tin. Because we're making this potato bake with presentation in mind, trimming ensures clean, sharp edges that look neat and professional on the plate. From there you can portion it into the sizes you need. I love cutting triangles for a self-serve platter or for leaning your meat up against. Triangles give the perception of a bigger portion. Squares are also a popular option. They're easy to cut and they're a perfect base for layering. The final preparation step is to brown these up and warm them through ready to be served. This will take about 30 to 45 minutes in a preheated oven. You can have these portions sitting on a tray in your fridge a few hours before your dinner party starts, with only this final step to go. With these few tweaks, you can enjoy your delicious potato bake for any occasion and have the added bonus of being prepared ahead of time. Recipes that have minimal last-minute prep time are always my favourites because an organised hostess is a relaxed one. So here's our beautifully browned dinner party worthy potato bake all ready to serve. And here's our comforting everyday potato bake. As you've seen, they are essentially the same thing, bar our few little tweaks. We're not going to leave this here though. Let's plate up a portion of both potato dishes to help you see the difference. The other components I've chosen to use for our plating today are some flat mushrooms, roasted spring carrots and bright green broccolini. We've also got some pan-seared beef medallions, crispy onions to add that bit of crunchy texture, and a delicious red wine jus. A black plate will be a great canvas to showcase our light coloured potato bake. Now let's add the other components, remembering that layering, overlapping and height will increase the visual appeal. This carrot is a bit hidden. It's the brightest colour on the plate, so we want it to be more visible. For added texture, we'll garnish it with a few crispy onion rings. Wow! Here's a delicious dinner ready to go. There's nothing wrong with this, but can we make it look a whole lot better with our dinner party worthy portions? I'll let you decide. The way this potato bake is cooked and prepared means it can be served in neat individual portions. making it the perfect base for effortlessly adding height to the dish. I'll add a generous spoonful of jus over the beef medallion for flavour, and the mushroom on top will give us a little bit more height. The carrots and broccolini are good side vegetables for this dish because they bring colour and freshness to the plate. The same crispy onion rings will add the texture component we need. Doesn't that look like it came straight out of a restaurant kitchen? So there you go. Same plate, same ingredients, same effort, just a few tiny tweaks that take your potato bake from rustic to refined. It's another easy way to be proud of the food you put on the table. If you like this video, you might enjoy this video too. How to present salad. It would make a perfect entree to this meal. See you over there.